Gentlemen, today I'm going to talk about the female competition anxiety and the psychology of desire. I'm going to tell you about a story of women who made God laugh. And let me take you back to this story. So imagine a household where two women, they fight, not with fists, but with fertility. Each birth, each cry, each name of a newborn becomes a weapon in an invisible war. This story is not from a Netflix drama or a Nollywood soap. It's from the book of Genesis, chapter 29 to 32. The house of Jacob, the trickster who tricked his brother and was in turn tricked by love. And in that tented battlefield between Leah and Rachel, we see one of the oldest, rawest truths of sexual psychology. And that is that when women sense competition, nothing, not morality, not loyalty, not logic, remains sacred. Welcome, gentlemen, to a red pill reflection on female competition anxiety, the ancient engine of human mating strategy. So, I'm going to go through an ancient script, and that is Genesis as evolutionary psychology. So, the tale begins with Jacob working 7 years for Rachel, the woman that he loves. But Laban, his cunning father-in-law, swaps her for Leah, the elder sister. So Jacob works 7 more years for Rachel, 14 years for beauty. And when Jacob finally marries Rachel, the book tells us that God closes her womb. That is in Genesis 29:31. Leah, who is unloved but fertile, bears sons in quick succession. Rachel seethes with envy and rage. And she tells Jacob, "Give me children or I'll die." She threatens to commit suicide. And Jacob snaps at her, "Am I in God's place?" And thus begins the oldest recorded war between women, not over ideology or land, but over reproductive access to a man's seed. Evolutionary psychologist David Bass explains that intersexual competition, which is rivalry between women, it arises when they perceive each other as threats to their mating success, especially when high-value males are scarce. What follows in Jacob's household is not divine comedy. It is a case study of female competition psychology. You guys may not know, but according to current statistics, modern women have birth rate of around 1.5. And that is in monogamous unions. Most polygamous unions, women used to have an average of 6 children. And that competition anxiety was part of the contributor to this. That's why men in polygamous households had many children. It's not necessarily because the women were many, but because the women were competing for his seed. So when a woman knows that she has a rival, her evolutionary machinery lights up like a Christmas tree. Cognitive scientists call this female competition anxiety, which is an adaptive response designed to protect reproductive investment. That's according to Fisher. Women normally deploy social manipulation, beauty signaling, emotional escalation, and even sexual outsourcing to maintain perceived control. So Rachel, desperate to match Leah's fertility, offers her maid Bilhah to Jacob. Leah retaliates by offering her maid Zilpah. The home becomes a breeding ground, literally. Because Jacob also wastes no time. He shoots, deposits his seed in all these women, and they're getting pregnant left, right, and center. This outsourcing of sexual access isn't new. It reflects what we call female opportunistic mating strategy. Women adjusting their sexual behavior to protect social status and emotional investment when rivalry is high. Even the naming of their children, like Mighty Wrestling, Happy Am I, God Shall Add, those are the names Rachel and Leah gives these children. They reveal how deeply their rivalry had fused with their identities. Gentlemen, if you're enjoying this video, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share it. When you subscribe, you'll always be notified when I drop new content. Also, when you like and share, you help this channel to grow, and more importantly, you help other men to discover the tools that they need to level up. So remember, when one man rises, we all rise. Now let's get back to the video. So this is the story of devotion, gentlemen. It is the story of desperation disguised as devotion. Let's look at the role of God as a mischievous puppeteer. We note in the text that God himself, he stokes the drama. He closes and opens wombs at will. And in a way, it's poetic. The divine serves as a metaphor for the chaotic algorithms of biology. Nature doesn't care about fantasies. It rewards fertility and punishes passivity. Richard Dawkins, the biologist, once wrote in The Selfish Gene that we are survival machines, robot vehicles blindly programmed to serve the selfish molecules known as genes. So perhaps in this ancient theater, God is merely evolution wearing a robe. But this story has modern echoes from those tense to current timelines. So fast forward 4,000 years today, the battlefield has not changed, only the weapons. Instead of mandrakes, it is makeup and filters. Instead of handmaids, it is best friends and work husbands. And instead of tents, it's Instagram, where digital competition anxiety thrives. A 2023 study in Evolutionary Behavioral Sciences journal found that women exposed to attractive female rivals on social media and reported increased anxiety, body dissatisfaction, and competitive sexual signaling. So, when these women are exposed to attractive female rivals on social media, they experience increased anxiety, body dissatisfaction, and competitive sexual signaling. That's why they're spending so much money on nails and on wigs and on makeup. Social media is really putting women under pressure. This is increased anxiety and body dissatisfaction because the sexual signaling is very competitive. So every soft life post is both a declaration and a challenge. See me, choose me, envy me. That's what it says. And when one woman secures a high value man, others subconsciously elevate him in desirability, a phenomenon David Bass calls mate choice coping. This is a form of preselection. For those who don't know what preselection is, you should read Unplugged 1. Women like men that other women like. Preselection. That's why married men, many women find married men very attractive. Rollo puts it very bluntly. He says that women desire men that other men want to be and that other women want to bang. The modern marketplace has merely digitized what Genesis dramatized. So, gentlemen, what you see in Rachel and Leah is not wickedness. It is wiring. Female competition anxiety isn't moral or immoral. It's adaptive. It ensures survival by driving women to secure commitment from the highest value men available. That is why monogamous unions, stripped of competition, they often decay into complacency, lower sexual energy, and higher divorce rates. I already spoke about the lower sexual energy and lower birth rate that women in monogamous unions yield. There is no competition. So I'll repeat that. That is why, and this is David Bass talking, that is why in monogamous unions, stripped of competition, women often decay into complacency, lower sexual energy, and these marriages give us higher divorce rates. And in contrast, polygamous or rivalrous contexts, they keep women invested, alert, and sexually responsive. And this is a paradox documented in reproductive psychology. This is documented by Gangstead and Thornhill. Gentlemen, hypergamy thrives under competition. Comfort kills desire. That's why Red Pill talks about passive dread. Now, picture Leah and Rachel. Eyes sharp, wombs aching, children crying, each of them trying to prove her worth through fertility, each of them fighting for the same man's dwindling affection. Now picture the modern woman. She's curating her best angles online, equally desperate to prove her desirability through attention metrics. Same psychology, same biology, different battlefield. So if female competition anxiety fuels desire, Have you built a life that commands rivalry, or one that leaves no woman feeling she could lose you? Those of you who are out of shape, you are broke, you don't have confidence, you don't groom yourself properly, you don't dress well, you have no status, you lack competence. That means your sexual marketplace value is low. And that means you don't command rivalry. Your woman knows that you cannot cheat because no woman wants you. That kills desire for women. And that's what makes you a beta male. One test of knowing whether your woman regards you as a beta male is when you always initiate sex. If your woman never initiates sex, it means she does not find you sexually attractive. So have situational awareness. I'm putting you on game. Are you leading with value that attracts loyalty through respect, or are you chasing validation that invites contempt? Okay? The solution is not to buy her flowers and gifts and tell her how beautiful she is. Women love value. Okay? When she competes for your attention, do you understand the power dynamic at play? Or do you mistake her anxiety for affection? And most crucially, gentlemen, have you become the man women compete for, or the man they collaborate to replace? So this is clarity. This is not cynicism. The battlefield has always existed. Only the wise learn to command it rather than become its casualty. So get unplugged, and I'll see you on the next one.